Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Creator Expert Winter Holiday Train. It is set number 10254, comes with 734 pieces, plus 5 minifigures, and was released on October 1st, 2016 at a retail price of $100. But taking into inflation, that would be $135. But if you want to get this thing brand new sealed on Bricklink, you're looking at no less than $156. And that's if you don't mind paying for international shipping, because that particular set is in Singapore, with the cheapest it's a brand new sealed set in the US being almost $250. Considering this set is getting a straight up remake, it got on October 4th, almost exactly 9 years after this set was released. I thought this would be as good a time as any to take a look at this oldie but goodie. Also, kind of telling how old this set is, considering again this set was released under the Creator Expert line, not Lego Icons. That wouldn't happen for another 2 or 3 years after this set. Taking a look at our minifigures first. First off, we have our engineers. So a simple little look. I like the addition of the blue hat and scarf. Good printing on the face. Got a little bit of metallic printing on there with the clips for his suspenders, as well as you can see, he's got a pen and a pair of scissors. No arm nor leg printing, and he does have a little bit of print on the back as well. No secondary from face. So all in all, simple figure, but it looks it looks really good. Let me get this guy fixed up again. There you go. So all in all, nothing too crazy going on, but it didn't really need anything all that crazy either. Next up, we have ourselves a ticket collector, looking really sharp there with that nice burgundy hat and the legs. No printing on the arms or legs again, and also no secondary face. But I do like the one that they gave him, with the full mustache and sideburns. And then, as you can see, he's got a nice printed vest on there with some nice metallic printing on there for the watch. And of course, his accessory is his ticket bag. So nice figure there as well. Next up, apparently this is supposed to be a grandma, which might just be the youngest grandma I've ever seen. She doesn't have a hint of gray in her, with the exception of a little bit of dust. Hey, this set is 9 years old, and I do believe I picked this up in 2016. So she does have a secondary face. It's just with her eyes closed, which looks really nice. Apparently, she's reusing the Hollywood starlet hairpiece from, I do believe, the modular cinema theater, and I like the heavy coat she's got on underneath her shirt and tie. With some nice fur going on. Once again, no arm or leg printing, but notice how her hands are white as she's wearing gloves. Nice touch there. And then, of course, since we got grandma, we got to have a couple of grandkids. One of them being a boy. Nice hair pieces there. I think this might be the Luke Skywalker hair piece. He's in almost a nougat, which looks really nice. He's a good printing on his face. No secondary face, but he does have some nice printing on the back. Some nice metallic printing with that anchor. Apparently, he's a big fan of ships. But he's basically got on almost like a Michael J. Fox Back to the Future style jacket on. You can see, I think that's might be an old style cell phone in his pocket. And his accessory is a remote that is going to be connected to one of the toys we see later on. And then we also, for our final figure, we have of his sister. Again, nice printing on front, good hairpiece. I like the printing on the back for her heavy jacket. Also got some metallic printing for the zipper. And you'll notice her accessory is a pair of roller skates. Interesting for a Christmas set. You think they'd be ice skates, not roller skates, but all in all, good selection of figures, even if it is a bit small for a $100 set. And we do have a couple of small accessory builds. We have this little platform. We have this little platform. Nice use of some white to represent some snow and ice. I like the simple build for the bench for the bench here. Also, we got a nice lamp, Chronicles of Narnia style lamp post. Soon as going on, we got a nice wreath hanging from the lamp post, and you can see we got a transparent yellow 1x1 cone inside the lamppost to provide that light. Not much for the train, but for a platform for the train. But fortunately, Lego fixed that very next year, 2017, with the Winter Village train station to go along with this set. I wouldn't be too surprised if Lego does the same thing this time around as well. And of course, we got plenty of presents and that we can put on our train, and we got quite a few of them that are wrapped up. I like the fact that not only are they all different builds, so like one of them squared, one's rectangular, and one's circular, but they all use different colors. Like you can see the square one uses blue and yellow. The rectangular one uses almost like a sand blue and red, and then we got the circular one with different shades of purple. But we also have plenty of toys out as well. We got this super simple little wind-up car. We got a little sailboat with some rather patriotic colors. Not gonna lie. We got a little fire engine going on here, complete with an adjustable ladder. Then we have, I imagine, what's supposed to be connected to that remote control of the kids. We got a little toy robot with a light in front and the printed tile on the torso. And for my personal favorite, we have a little rocket chip, which between that yellow and black, I think that might be a reference to Blacktron. I really like that. Go ahead and move all this over to the side, and we go ahead and take a look at our train, starting with our locomotive. I will say I do like the coloring for the train itself. Where you got the classic Christmas colors of red and green on the locomotive, and then you got some blue back here on the car. Plus, there's a bit of gold thrown in there as well. So like I said, we'll go ahead and take a look at our engine first off. Often this is they use quite a few different colors and elements, and again, really like all the Christmas detailing with the classic red and green. You got a couple of wreaths hanging on from the back of the cab. Like the use of the 2x2 circular tiles to represent smoke coming out of the smokestack. Really like that. Got your cow catcher on the front, and you can see that the front wheels can adjust just enough so that you can put it on Lego track. That when you put on Lego track, it'll move along just fine. And then you got a bit of a front headlight here on smokestack, and behind that you got yourself a little representation of a bell, like the use of gold all around, and you can easily take off the top. At least you're supposed to be able to. There we go. Oh, so you can see it's only connected by 4 studs. So nothing too crazy going on. And taking a look on the inside, you can see. I believe that's supposed to be. I honestly can't remember if that's prints or stickers. Like I said, this set is 9 years old. Well, but you can see like there's a bunch of gauges going on here for like I don't know, air pressure, water pressure, heat, and then you got also a printed speedometer or it's control the train speed, and you got a couple clips on the side where you can see one of them currently is holding a shovel, which is really convenient for the next car. All in all, it's a simple little engine, but I kind of like it. And next up, we have our coal car. I do like the added elements of like the plant pieces in white, along with throwing on some lights to represent and some Christmas lights and decorations. It's super small. Nothing too much going on here. But it's a nice little decoration. Plus, inside like get the fact that they throw in a little bit of black to give you some some representation of different color coal. You notice this whole thing is actually, yeah, it's actually angled. So yeah, interesting way to do the build. So yeah, nothing too crazy going on this car, but but it does its job. Next up, we have our real true Christmas card. You do have a, yeah, large empty space in here, which is supposed to hold all your presents. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit difficult, getting them all in there, but believe it or not, it is doable. So quite a bit has to be, stacked on top of it, and a bunch of stuff. But yes, here, as you can see, I did manage to, get them all in there. I definitely wouldn't recommend trying to move the train car without, getting all the presents out of it first. But as you can see, it is doable. And yes, the next to that, you got a nice Christmas tree set up. Like, see, that's what I'm talking. Just move it just a little bit, and what a present falls out. But yeah, I do like this. It's a simple little build for a Christmas tree, but you got some some nice shading going on there with the regular green and the dark green, plus some transparent pieces to represent some lights, and you got a jewel on top, which I'm guessing is supposed to represent a star. And then you got a little train going around the tree. And one thing I really like that they did with this train is that you can see there's a bunch of gears and pistons underneath here, and that's to show off the main function of this car is that when you spin, when the back wheels spin, the tree and train are on a platform, and as the train car moves on the tracks, the whole thing spins. So yeah, nice little gimmick there. And for our last car, we have a little bit of a caboose. I like the use of these green, like, saloon style doors, or as soon as for the exterior. I really like that too. You got a couple of lamp posts both on the front and back, along with the same floral decorations that you saw on the coal car, and much like the train in cab, the whole top is only connected by 4 studs. It's so easily accessible. I like the use of the inverted tiles here with the transparent. Kind of represents like some lights on top. And you can see there's seating for two with a coffee mug, which I'm sure is supposed to be full of hot cocoa. And I'm guessing this is supposed to be a lamp. So, but there is one downside about that. Is continue, you got the grandma and the 2 kids. There's technically 3 passengers, but you only have space for 2. So yeah, a little disappointing there. So all in all, that's your full set, with the exception of the track, which, by the way, I do have right over here. Well, one thing I will say is that they did a pretty interesting thing, in order to get all 16 curved track pieces into the box. Actually, the same amount of track pieces you'll get in the new $130 train coming out on the 4th. Is that they basically take 4 of these pieces, and then underneath you'll see that they inserted these pins, which, to be honest, are a bit of a pain to get out. Not gonna lie. Actually, I think it's. Ugh. So yeah, basically you just pull them off, and again, it's a bit of a tight fit. Like, they don't really want to come off. But yeah, you get a total of 16 track pieces. I'm gonna stop the recording real quick, so get the track set up so you can see like what the whole thing looks like once it's set up. All right, so as you can see, I actually got it on the track. I honestly wasn't sure if I'd be able to get the whole track, on my review table. I thought I might have to do it on the floor or something. But as you can see, I actually managed to fit it. It is a bit distant, but as you can see, the train moves around pretty easily. And as you can see, as I mentioned, the Christmas tree and train do spin around. So all in all, it's a really nice setup here. And actually, I almost forgot, I actually have the instruction manuals. It's actually 2 of them. taking look at the. You can see, what the front box art looks like. Looks really nice. It's very festive, a nice view of the train, and a nice interesting note. You can see that what they did with the track is that they did it in the curves alternating. They didn't do it in a circle. So opening the instruction manual, you can see basically instructions on basically how to build the set and open them by bag. But strangely enough, there's these numbers for this set only go up to 3, and then you see how to use the brick saber here. Then you just this instruction manual number 1 only takes care of bag number 1. What you see is the grandma, the boy, the platform, and your presents, and the instruction manual number and instruction manual 2, which you can see is actually has the instructions slanted, and then instruction manuals 2 and 3 cover the actual train, as well as is an ad for being able to add the power functions collection to the set to make it drivable, which might be the one downside of this set, that you get the train but you don't have any way to drive it. Although a nice thing is that they do show you the instructions on how to modify the engine and coal car to able to add in the power functions, as well as an ad in the back for, I believe that's the updated toy shop. But they did put that they released. I don't know. What was it? I believe the original one came out in 2008, but then this one came out, I don't know, 5-6 years later with almost 100 more extra pieces added into the set, and I wouldn't be too surprised if this is the updated version. So all in all, it's a really fun and little Christmas set. It's the train is a bit might be a bit small. I mean, the whole set is a bit small. Not even 800 pieces for $100. It feels a bit price feels a bit high, but all in all, that's not going to be any different with the new train, which, to be honest, I think might be about the same. At least lengthwise, might be the same size, even though it's 200 more pieces. But all in all, ironically, counting inflation, the two are about the same price. Ironically, I was quite surprised to find out. But all in all, I think that it's a decent little set. Again, I think the one downside is that the fact that you have to get all the power functions in order to be able to get this train running. Which honestly, I won't be surprised if that costs if you have to if you have to get everything, if you didn't have any of the power functions and already, which I don't. And I won't be surprised if that would cost you about the same amount as the set, maybe even more. So yeah, I think that's the few downsides about that is, again, not a lot of pieces for the price, not a lot of figures, and you have to buy the power functions in order to be able to run the train. But all in all, it's a really decent set. I don't know if you guys want to pick this on up nowadays. I mean, it's totally up to you. I'm glad I picked it up when I did, and I'm definitely planning on getting the new one. But all in all, it's a really decent set. So it's a really nice addition to Lego's traditional Winter Village collection. So that'll be the end of this review. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring the bell to be notified of all videos as soon as they become available. Check out my channel and some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.